Hey guys, so this is part 2 of my deep dive into Candace Owens. How did she get here? So my point of doing this deep dive is to get everybody caught up to where we are today and where she is with this investigation into Charlie Kirk's unaliving and all the controversy that's going on around it. Now, Candace Owens said some real crazy stuff on her podcast just this last Friday. Now, she's on vacation for the holidays, but she made a really disturbing mention, and I was a bit offended by it because she called herself doing a call of action to the Black community and to tell the Black community why white people are not responsible for slavery.
I challenge Black Americans to wake up to your true history because your quarrel is not with white men, okay? Wake up to who publishes these books and keeps us warring with one another. Christians versus Christians, right? Christians versus Muslims. Wake up and learn the true history of slavery, because that wasn't exactly a white men sport, okay? Jewish people were the ones that were trading us. Jewish people were in control of the slave trade. They've buried a lot of it, but
Which that's not the issue. It's just the fact that she's speaking to the Black community as she's not a Black person herself. And she's also speaking at the Black community like we're ignorant to our own history. Now, just because she has just caught up and because she's been treated like a Black person within the conservative community, and now she understands what it feels to be Black amongst racist white people, now she thinks she needs to tell us what to do and how that we need to look into our history when she did not do it on her own. It took you to get ostracized by the same white supremacists that have been putting their knees on the neck of Black people for as long as we can imagine. But because you were tap dancing for them and they've ostracized you, now you think you need to reach out to the Black community and let us know what's really going on. Girl, you was a day late and a dollar short. And girl, I was about to say a word, but nigga, please. So now, as we pick up from the last episode, I was speaking and letting you guys know that Candace went from working for TP USA to working with PragerU and having her own show on YouTube. Now, the information that I got was from the internet, it's public information, and I just was able to really look into Candace's motivation for allowing herself to be a mouthpiece for the YT community to put down her own people. Now, when she was at TPUSA, she was making an annual amount of about $250,000. Then she got the call from PragerU, and she was increased in her income to about $445,000 a year. So now I understand what her motivation was for putting down her community: money. So now, after being with PragerU for only like a year, Candace got a contract with the Daily Wire, which is co-owned by Ben Shapiro, who is a very far-right, conservative, Jewish political pundit. Now, for those that don't know, all these people got their notoriety basically from YouTube, from the internet. They were not professionally trained in like journalism or work for any like news shows. They got their notoriety from the internet, from YouTube, and by being funded by donors, and they push a lot of far right-wing conservative views. So she was hired by Ben Shapiro and his co-owner of the Daily Wire, and she got a pretty good contract. Based on the research that I did, when she went to the Daily Wire, her pay increased to a 7-figure salary. So it says that she was getting paid a low single-digit 7-figure salary. This is where a lot of the controversy started with Candace, because on her show, Candace, that was on the Daily Wire, they had her looking amazing. I actually loved the opening of her show and everything. Candace, it was around 2021 when she went over there, and Candace has stated controversial viewpoints when it comes to Trayvon Martin and the George Zimmerman situation. Now, because she was going after the whole Black Lives Matter people, the women, and saying it was a fraud, she used that situation to justify why she did not agree with BLM, because that's when it springboarded after the situation where George Zimmerman unalived Trayvon Martin. Her view was that George Zimmerman had the right to follow Trayvon Martin, and the fact that he was unalived was the cause of Trayvon Martin pretty much being in the wrong place at the wrong time, or that because of that law in Florida that citizens can take matters into their own hands. Now, she did not say that verbatim. I am paraphrasing what she said about the George Zimmerman situation. But when it's all said and done, she was more or less on George Zimmerman's side, and that sparked a lot of controversy, and people were canceling her left and right when it came to the BK community. And these were a lot of her talking points that she had when she was over at the Daily Wire. And then in 2023, when she started talking against the war in Israel against the Gazans, they started turning their back on her. And I'll go further into that in part 3.